I'm Mr. Wavvy, and we're here with the one and only Tony Trimm.
Hey.
What's up, what's up?
What's going on? What's going on?
How you doing, man?
I'm alright.
Kicking it off, how do you get started in DJing?
I started a long time ago, like in high school, because I was just always a big fan of hip-hop, so I was like collecting CDs and tapes, and then I just started buying vinyl records. A lot of my friends were like break dancers and MCs and stuff, so there just was a void to fill back then. It was just like, we need a DJ, and so I would buy 12-inch records with like the instrumental on the B-side, and then just kind of make mixtapes with like all instrumentals, and then people would freestyle on them. I would freestyle on them. I used to rap back in the days. And yeah, it just kind of came out of necessity. It's like, we need a guy that plays music, so I just make mixtapes for people. Like, here's, you know, a tape full of all the new cuts. That was back in the days, though, when I used to actually come out to this spot called Gramophone in Chicago and just buy records, like records, you know, and come home with just stacks of records. And I just got crates now, mostly 90s hip-hop.
Yeah, this is finally coming back. That, you know, records are back. You can use them like it's nothing.
Yeah, it's like a thing. Yeah, it's like a thing now. They're like at Urban Outfitters.
Yeah, that's what's up though, you know. And then when did it come to the point of linking with Hannibal to say a comedy tour DJ? I feel like that's an unusual thing in some senses.
You know, it's become like my niche, and I like it. I just like hanging out with comics. They tend to be very like intelligent people, and they, you know, I like the camaraderie between comics. They like roast each other. Of course, they're cordial and nice to each other, but you get close to a comic enough, you're gonna get roasted on. And if you say some dumb shit, they'll check you. And it's cool. They keep you on your toes. And I like working with comics, and I genuinely just get along with them. So it's a niche thing. It just kind of fell into place. And
was it you who pitched him, or how did it come about saying, "Hey, let's take this on the road and do this thing together"?
Oh, it was always been Hannibal's. I mean, because I go back with Hannibal since like college, and in college, I used to host an open mic, but I would play beats and music and stuff in between the acts and blah blah blah, and Hannibal would host.
Yeah.
And Hannibal would have these rap jokes and then stuff like that. So it just kind of organically came from that, like just me being there, and then him and me just kind of, you know, bonding over stuff like that. And then he was just like, we should come up with some rap jokes. He had this idea for a while before it even came into fruition. We'd always talk about it, and then finally we're like, let's give it a try. And then we did it. It was cool.
Well, it's funny. I feel like one of the most popular ones, the riff rap joke, you know, just ad libs at the end. I was at that show. That's where I started my journalism career.
At the Riff Raff show?
I was supposed to interview Riff Raff at that Montreal show, but let's just say...
In that club, right?
Yeah,
that was so bad.
Let's just say a little thing called Riff Raff doing too much cocaine got in the way of that.
I don't know. From what my vantage point was, because there was an act before him.
Yeah, the Airplane Boys.
And it was just, the system was all this. You could tell like the system wasn't made for like a live.
Well,
it was like
that was the closing of that club, and then they like redid it a couple months after, and it was totally fine.
Oh, yeah. That was. I think just like the whole atmosphere and everything. I'm sure Riff Raff is a better performer than that, but it's just a. Well, okay. Well, I don't know. I haven't seen Riff Raff.
He's getting roasted in the jokes for a reason.
Yeah, I don't go to Riff Raff shows regularly, but definitely the sound system was pretty butt. So, yeah.
And now you guys got the handsome Rambler, been kicking off. You know, been killing it.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite lines that wasn't even necessarily funny was when you guys had Chris Rock on it. He was asking Hannibal, like, when's your comedy album coming? Are you going to do a comedy album? And Hannibal said, no, this is our comedy album. This is our generation's comedy album.
Yeah,
I really like that.
Yeah.
How do you find, like, a podcast relates to this generation in terms of a comedic stance?
Well, number one, we try to kind of do our own thing. We're not trying to just be another podcast. So we try to, I mean, even though we do get comedians as guests, we try to also get like relevant musicians and rappers and stuff like that.
So Chicago figures, like Saba was cool.
Yeah, it's very Chicago centric. We get a lot of Chicago people too, but and then just goofing off with them, because some rappers really do have a good sense of humor, and you'll be surprised, some comics might not even be really that funny just as a normal person. It's like people are people, and you never know what you're gonna pull out of them. So it's just interesting in that way. I don't know if that answered your question, because
Sure,
the question
yeah.
was kind of, yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel like a lot of it comes naturally. I feel like even with the ads you guys do with, well, now I'm trying to think of this. That's the one thing I couldn't find. What's your machine called that you guys fuck around with on the show?
Which
For the
one?
voices?
We got a bunch of them. Oh, that's the handsome scrambler.
Right. So
We don't-
even for that, like I feel it adds just an original characteristic. Like you guys talking about having like a therapist, online therapy as a sponsor, and Hannibal's just goofing around on that. Really takes the life out of it.
Yeah, we had to go light on those ads. Yeah, because usually I produce the whole ad. Like he'll be in there or wherever we are, and he'll just record for like a couple minutes. He'll be in the studio just going like bevel, 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 and
Yeah.
I'll just take that and chop it up, sample it, and then just kind of make a beat out of it. So that's usually how that's done. Yeah, but the scrambler, yeah, definitely is a staple. The theremin's a staple.
Right, that's
staple,
the word I was thinking of.
The theremin, and then now the drum machine, because we got drums on everything. So it just keeps it just evolves as we go.
Look out for Tony Trimm and Hannibal on Run the Jewels 5.
Yeah, right.
What's up for the next year?
As far as what?
You know, just your plans. Your plans as a duo.
Well, we started lightly working on some music, like an actual album.
Oh, nice.
We just got to get focused, and we've talked about it, so we just got to sit down and get focused and like write the album and make the beats, whatever.
Is it like actual songs or more
Yeah.
of just?
It'll be the actual songs. Like we already have like a few in mind. We already like made like half of like a juke song.
Dope.
So it's just a matter of sitting down and crafting it. So yeah, I mean,
I imagine it's a comedy album also, right?
that's the thing. Like obviously it's Hannibal and he's just naturally funny, but we do definitely want to make it like a quality album. I got Moog synthesizers and guitar stuff on deck ready to go. We want it to be like a wide-ranging album, but there's definitely gonna be good production, maybe some features. This is in my head.
Yeah.
I imagine like a short 10-song album, like 5 to 10 songs, maybe even an EP. So that's like my vision of it. I mean, Hannibal's is probably gonna differ, but yeah, just a good produced. It's not gonna be like an Adam Sandler album, where where it's just gonna be stuff, just funny songs, but more like something that could bang at the club too,
Yeah, I mean, even the Chris Rock albums back in the day had some songs you could just listen to unironically.
Yeah.
And you said features. Who are you thinking in terms of wish list or people you've already fucked around with?
I'd like to get Bjork on there.
Oh, damn. Oh, we ain't playing 2018. Watch out.
It'd be amazing to work with Bjork, but no, that's not happening. I don't know, probably just like associates of ours.
Yeah, imagine like Chance just because.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't even know if he'd want to do it, but it'll probably be mostly people we've worked with or already interviewed and stuff like that. So, that's really what it comes down to.
Do you happen to know anything about a 5th season of Eric Andre?
No, I don't know anything about it.
I mean, I'm just curious where they have left to go with that. I feel like, it's already been so crazy, peaked in terms of shock value, but 5 to wrap one out might not be a bad idea either.
Well, I think he's starting to get more recognizable.
Yeah.
So I think if he's doing like on the street stuff, he's gonna get noticed more, and people are gonna be like, "Oh shit, they're doing Eric Andre's show," and he might get outed because his notoriety. So I don't, it's like Borat. How long could Borat do Borat before everyone knows who Borat is? So it's a matter of time before he outgrows it. In my opinion. Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, Tony. Just wrapping up, we like to end with this signature question. Ask it to everyone from Wu-Tang to pop stars. Maybe Bjork one day, but as far as you're here, we're gonna ask it to you, Tony. What is the meaning of life?
Bjork.
Facts. I'm Mr. Wavvy. He's Tony Trimm. We out.
Peace.